Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a bit of testing on my two-step rev limiter because I'll be using it as a bit of a launch control because I don't have trans brake or anything like that for the drags. When it starts back up again next month, the 7th and the 25th, I think. 7th is the first race for real Wednesday night and 25th is the first Sunday street meet. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to make it to first. Hopefully the Wednesday night race for real, but more likely the Sunday street meet. It's just going to work out better for me. So I'm going to be doing a bit of testing today on the two-step. Now, I'd done a video on it previously, but it didn't really work very well just due to like small tyres, concrete surface. It's not a prep surface. I had taller diff gears and so now I've got some 411s in the car. I've got a big set of tyres which I have just next to me here, which if you can see, I'll show you guys those in a sec. And so we'll be testing that out today and just seeing if it's going to hook up a bit more, because the last video when it was on the two-step I had it set at about $2,500 and it was just turning the tyres. So hopefully now it'll hook up and we'll get the revs up hopefully to get a decent launch until we get something like trans brake or something like that. That'll be a bit more decent, but for now that's going to have to do. So do a bit of testing on that today and give you guys a bit of a video so you can see what happens. So these are the tyres I got for it. They are Mickey Thompson's. They're full slicks, 28 by 10.5 15s. They just managed to squeeze on a 15-inch stock forward rim. They got a fair bit of tread on them. They're probably a little bit big for this car, the power that it's making and just the car in general. Probably would do better with like maybe a 26 or something like that, but these come up at a good price, so I just jumped on them. So I had some tyres to go down there with once it all starts back up again. Got the new 411s in under there, well, you can't really see. Here is my old diff. Now, this was the 277. Now, it had so much metal inside of it when I pulled it out, so it was a good thing to take it out and replace it with those 411s. They're going to be good for the track, but they're pretty crap for driving around and cruising in. It's doing like $2,500 at 60 k's an hour, so it's not pleasant to drive around in. Probably get this diff refurbished with a set of like 35s or 37s in it, and that'll be a lot nicer for the street. But yeah, as I said, there was a whole heap of metal inside of it, and it was a massive tight spot. So if you've been following along, I had it dynoed the other week, it was a month ago now, and like it made 265 kilowatts or something like that, and 888 newton meters of torque. I reckon with the lower diff that's in it now, it'd probably make a bit of a difference. Don't try to focus on my big rust hole in the corner there. As I said before, in one of my other videos, it's a little bit rough around the edges, a bit of a banger, but yeah, I still love it. Alright, anyways, we'll get these tyres on and we'll start testing out the two-step. guys, tyres are on. I reckon they look pretty sick when they're on. They fill out the guards so well. Sorry about the road noise going past as well. Alright, so enough of that. Let's get inside it and start testing it out. Also, for anyone that's unsure of what I'm meaning by two-step, I've got an ICE ignition. This is the ignition controller. Now, you can control your ignition timing advance on here. You've got a lower RPM limit that you can set and a higher RPM limit that you can set. So at the moment, the higher RPM limit is set to 7,300 RPM. And the lower limit is 2,400 RPM. So how I control that is it's wired up through the brake pedal and a switch that's just over here, if I can get this thing to come around here. So it's a bit dark, but as you can see, that is the switch there. So when that switch is engaged and my foot is on the brake pedal, I can hold the accelerator on and it will hold the car at 2,400 RPM. So that's what I mean about the two-step. It's got a lower and a higher RPM limit, so it's called a two-step ignition module. Now, yeah, so that's basically it on that. We'll get out the back and we'll test it out. Alright, so I'm just letting the car warm up for a little bit. I've got 16 pound in the tyres, which is probably a little bit more than you'd like at the track, but we'll just leave it at that for now. I'm assuming you probably have them lower at the track as they heat up and expand, but I don't think we'll be getting them that hot today. So we've got 16 pound in them, and I've put a mark on the tyre and the rim just to see if we get any tyre slippage on the rim. So we'll warm it up and we'll give it a bit of a test hit. I'll try it at 2,400 RPM to start with, and then I'll go up from there just to see how high we can set the lower limit on the line and get it to hold there. RPM, we'll just bump it up a little bit to 2.6. Sounds good, eh? Alright, so 2,400 RPM is going to be the limit. I tried it on 2.6 and the brakes just wouldn't hold it there. So 2.4 is going to be the sweet spot, I think. The car's not moving and the tyres aren't turning, which I'm really happy about. So at least we'll be able to get the revs up at, at least close to the converter. Converter's 3.8. I know it's a little bit far off, but you've got to work with what you got at the moment. And I'm quite happy. I know it's not a prep surface, but my tyre marks didn't move at all. They didn't spin on the tyre, which I'm kind of surprised at, just being such a giant tyre on a tiny standard rim. So all in all, pretty happy with the little test. That's all I'm going to do for today. There's not much else I can do. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll get some footage once we finally get it to the track.